I will also like to invite our new rapporteur, who will be with us for this last session, Mrs. Saskia Shelkens, Special Advisor to the UN Secretary General's Envoy on Youth. Welcome and thank you. Okay, we will now give the floor to Palestine, then India, and then Solomon Islands. Palestine, the floor is yours.
I won't make it long. I just hope that we focus on the marginalized areas and groups around the world to achieve the SDGs because they need us the most. Don't let those people hate us or lose confidence in us because we're sitting in such positions acting like we're helping them. We have to move forward because the future is now. In Palestine, it is almost impossible to make progress because how we can make it when thousands of youngsters, boys and girls, are imprisoned each year. The situation in Palestine is not getting any better, but let's hope it doesn't get any worse. Nevertheless, we won't stop doing our best. I hope in the upcoming years we can see remarkable progress where there is still hope. I also hope that one day youths will be given a seat on the table and be recognized as decision makers and involve them in community development. Because as a youth, I believe that no one can feel me unless that one is my age and lives in the same situation I live in. Obrigado.
Thank you very much. India.
Thank you. Governments aspire that the youth are a demographic dividend, but the governments need to reckon, and 4 quick points here. Youth-related interventions are cross-cutting. Approach has to be center of government and center of society. Secondly, decision-making mostly rests with the elders in homes and society and also in political governance. Number 3, unemployment in 15 to 29 years is much higher compared to the overall population. And number 4, while gender gaps in economic participation and opportunity and political empowerment.
We, the youth, have minds, needs, and problems. Forums are being provided to hear our voices. For instance, the National Youth Parliament Festival of India, and of course, Lisboa Plus 21. However, I feel that our voices also need to be heard and understood, and not merely spoken in order to be acted upon. Expectedly, the 2030 SDG agenda will deliver on this. I would like to end with a thought by saying that we are the future, but can the future be disconnected from the present? Thank you.
Thank you very much. While Solomon Islands prepares, I would also invite Timor-Leste, Jordan, and Georgia and Uruguay to prepare their interventions. Solomon Islands, the floor is yours.
Thank you. Solomon Island is the only small island Pacific state that came here to attend this prestigious and profound World Ministers Conference. On that note, we will be speaking on behalf of other Pacific Island countries. Youth is our wealth and should be everybody's business. In that note, we would like to say that women, youth, children, as well as NGOs, faith-based organizations, communities, and government to work collaboratively to own the youth. One of our biggest challenges, which we are confronting and experiencing now, is climate change. And this sea rise is affecting our islands, and we will be trying to reclaiming the land, but we don't know how. Thank you.
Thank you. We, the young people of the Pacific region, believe the Lisbon Plus 21 declaration will set a new pathway for us to collectively achieve the 2030 Sustainable Development Agenda. We call for the continuous embrace, the modality of North and South, learning and sharing of best practices and resources that will help our government and our young people build their capacity to achieve those Sustainable Development Agenda. Believing in our nation's future is believing in our young people.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Timor-Leste.
Yes.
Is Timor-Leste in the room? Yes.
Obrigado. Primeiramente, gostaria de começar para agradecer o governo português e o Conselho Nacional de Juventude de Portugal por valioso trabalho para organizar este importantíssimo programa para acolher e reunir todos os participantes aqui. Este é muito importante, como o objetivo do desenvolvimento sustentável foca-se nos 4 partes importantes, como pessoas, planeta, paz, prosperidade e parceria. E este programa nos incentiva para promover e desenvolver a parceria. Em Timor-Leste, temos também a Política Nacional da Juventude, que descreveu e mencionou também as políticas e as estratégias para alinhar com o Objetivo de Desenvolvimento Sustentável. Isto é importante e recomendamos para outros países para alinhar a política interna do país com o Objetivo do Desenvolvimento Sustentável. E também aproveitamos esta conferência para recomendar para todos nós, especialmente para as organizações internacionais, para criar alguns mecanismos próprios para medir e supervisionar os alcanços e os progressos do desenvolvimento de juventude, no sentido de identificar também os obstáculos de cada país, como os dados, a fim de contribuir melhor para o desenvolvimento de juventude. Também temos de considerar que a juventude é uma idade de criatividade, uma idade de jovens com ideias inovativas, idade das pessoas energéticas. Temos de usar bem essas forças para contribuir para um mundo
Honored delegate.
melhor. Muito obrigado.
Please finish. Thank you very much. We have Jordan and then Georgia.
Amira from the Hashemite Kingdom of Jordan. Please allow me to thank everyone responsible for the great success of this conference and Portugal in specific for hosting us. I proudly come from a country that supports youth on all possible levels, but success is not achieved individually. Hence, what we need is a global ecosystem that calls youth for action rather than an action for youth. An ecosystem that supports our needs and requirements, which would require an uplift and a change in the current policies, programs, and procedures of the governmental and public bodies. In addition to that, we'd need a global collaboration between non-governmental organizations, private organizations, and public organizations, as our differences, is what strengthens us and enables us to think, act, and implement in an objective, constructive, and positive manner for a better tomorrow. Thank you.
Shukran. Now we have Georgia.
Ladies and gentlemen, on behalf of Georgian delegation, I would like to thank you for your hospitality and the kind opportunity to shape the new 2030 agenda. I believe that new agenda will bring the sustainable social change and the consistent national youth policy frameworks worldwide. Georgia, as an independent country, adopted first national youth policy document in 2014, as well as 5 years action plan. As a result, government started to finance national youth programs, including startup innovations and social entrepreneurship programs. It is also noteworthy that creation of new youth agency is underway, which can become the key instrument in terms of supporting local youth, especially creating youth economics, supporting non-formal education, creating community networks. In short, we believe that peace and intergenerational responsibility will enable us to elaborate holistic approach which is so necessary for young generation to shape the better future. The investment in youth is the best intervention for positive change, and we are all change makers. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. Next up is Uruguay, and I also ask Ukraine, San Marino, Cyprus, and Malaysia to prepare their interventions. Uruguay, the floor is yours.
Gracias. Por motivos económicos y administrativos, lamentablemente no fue imposible contar con la participación de un representante social. Créanme que esto me apena verdaderamente. Pero pese a que mi rol actual es gubernamental, no puedo olvidar mis raíces de militancia social. Algunas reivindicaciones siguen vigentes y la verdad es que me queman el pecho. Como jóvenes denunciamos a nuestros gobiernos por el abuso policial y la criminalización de la protesta, por los recortes de presupuesto y la autonomía educativa, por la persecución a personas homosexuales, trans y a los nuevos modelos de familia, el desconocimiento del trabajo no remunerado de nuestras madres, abuelas y hermanas, la xenofobia e invisibilización de nuestras poblaciones indígenas, el retroceso del multilateralismo y los acuerdos internacionales, especialmente en medio ambiente, la corrupción y los privilegios de las élites económicas y políticas. En muchos rincones, las políticas de juventudes nacieron desde un paradigma de riesgo, intentando contener el ocio de una juventud que amenazaba valores y tradiciones adultas. Ese paradigma no está superado aún, sino que convive con el nuevo enfoque de derechos. Muchas veces nuestro rol como directores de juventud es difícil. Nuestros organismos de juventud se enfrentan a la indiferencia de las autoridades sectoriales en nuestros gobiernos. Pero no debemos excusarnos, tenemos que hacer autocrítica. Tenemos que reconocer que las transformaciones profundas solo son posibles y sostenibles con movimientos sociales fuertes, independientes y movilizados, en las redes y en las calles. Nuestros roles pueden variar, pero la lucha sigue siendo la misma. Gracias.
Thank you very, very much. Sorry. Uruguay, was that you? Yeah, perfect. My apologies. Ukraine.
Thank you. Thank you for possibility to have floor and possibility to join an event, to have meaningful youth participation. First of all, I would like to say that I'm last but not least in Ukraine delegation. My name is Andriy Kolobov, I'm leader of National Youth Council of Ukraine, and I would like to say that in the last half a year, we together with other member organizations started to analyze how the SDG is implementing in Ukraine, and we found that it's no action plan yet. We started to recommend 14 points to the National Youth Strategy as a document which could provide framework for support for young people, be real partner in implementation of SDG. We have very specific 14 points. First of all, is the youth participation on level of partnership as the main idea. We think that it's important to have political education. We think that it's only way how we could have pluralism and different point of view, not only patriotic education. We also think that security and ecological point is really important for us, and we hope that we not only will have that mainstream in the policies national-wide, but we also will have the same definition internationally, and I really believe that already existing framework like SDG is a really good tool. For example, our recommendation number 5, is also gender equality. But for example, we really facing within that process not only national challenges, but international. International organization, I hope, could cooperate together. Because, for example, in Ukraine was initiative to reject word gender from every policy because of councils of church who requested that. We disagree with that, and discussion is continuing, but we think that word gender should be used, and terminology and understanding of that word has to be the same. We are doing a lot of things to mainstream youth point of view. And sorry that I'm not talking about content, but it's what young people deliver me to say, to national-wide, internationally. Thank you for your attention.
Thank you very much. San Marino.
Merci Anja, merci au gouvernement de la République portugaise, merci à mon collègue Jorge Orlando Queiroz. L'idée de San Marino pour comment et quoi pour la suite de cette conférence mondiale de la jeunesse. Hier soir, j'étais à Lisboa et j'ai vécu des expériences extraordinaires. La première, voir 3000 jeunes l'une derrière l'autre pour écouter Maya Jane Coles dans une salle de musique et pour danser Luxe Fragile. Ordre, calme, le plaisir d'attendre un moment agréable. Le deuxième, avoir la possibilité de manger le risotto aux asperges. Sublime, reconnaître le chef de la cuisine portugaise comme le meilleur à réveiller des émotions cachées pour construire ensemble notre futur. Merci.
Thank you for those beautiful metaphors. Okay, we now have 3 speakers left on our list. Cyprus is up next, but I want to prepare all of you because there is a second and secret part to this session before we end today. After our 3 last interventions, I will open up the floor once again for spontaneous interventions, and I would like to hear from you one thing that you will do differently after today. One thing that you will take from today's conference and do differently. So we will have time for a few extra interventions after the last round of interventions on this specific topic. So please prepare your thoughts on the things that one or two things that you will do differently, taking away knowledge from this conference. Okay, Cyprus, the floor is yours.
Okay, if I knew that I was going to speak after Ricardo, I wouldn't. But I will try and be as short as possible. Well, we believe that our goal today and tomorrow it's a twofold. Firstly, to show to the world that we have a plan. Youth has a plan. We know where we want to go. Today and tomorrow we are actually refurbishing our compass, so we make sure that we continue the journey towards our Ithaca. And as we all know, and paraphrasing the Greek poet Kavafis, it's not only the destination that matters, but also the journey. And as my colleague from Romania said, Patricia, with the superpower of young people, together we can achieve a lot. Secondly, we believe that we are here to boost our morale, to boost our confidence, because it is not enough to know the what and the how in our own small context. It is crucial to remember the why. And knowing that we belong, our everyday effort belongs to something bigger than us, it is also very important. And for that, we thank first of all our Portuguese host and of course all of our colleagues here.
So for me, I don't want to repeat what have been already said. We totally agree with all the delegates who have spoken before us, and we hope that we will have a detailed action plan to make it happen after the end of this conference. But let's be honest, what we with ourselves in order to achieve everything that has been discussed here today, among other things, there is one necessity which must be addressed, one which dictates our future actions, and this is adequate funding. And for that to happen, the whole world, including private and public sector, must realize and showcase that they are understanding that youth policy making, youth work, and youth empowerment is not only a luxury, but in fact a necessity. Thank you so much for your time.
Malaysia.
Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, I would like to take this opportunity to thank the government of Portugal and all the relevant parties in organizing this World Conference. When we talk about youth in Malaysia, we consider them as our partners when we are formulating not only in the policies, but as well as in the plan of action. They are involved with us together in the early part of the decision making, as well as in the actual implementation on all policies as well as plan of actions. We work closely with them in all matters that are related to the youth. And now I'd like to hand it over to my young colleague.
Right, thank you. So, in order to summarize in regards to what we really believe in youth is they're often seen as disruptors, contributors, agent of change. So it's our main duty in order for us to harness their full potential. So what we do in Malaysia generally is we work together with youth NGOs and National Youth Council because we believe that through the information provided by the government, we are able to harness and be able to embrace the climate of sustainable development goal. And I think it's extremely important for us to understand the full potential of youth because most of them are really grounded and really close to the people on the ground. They are able to then relay information and explain to normal civilians on layman terms. And I think in order for us to reach a full and a fully embracing sustainable development goals, we need youth as an agent of change. Thank you.
Okay, we have Croatia and then finally Burundi. Croatia.
Dear ladies and gentlemen, when I was 18 years old, people told me I was too young to start any project that will help the community. They told me I needed to get older and have more experience. I didn't want to wait, and I opened an NGO that is still helping young people in rural areas through many different projects. Very soon, the policymakers of my country recognized my effort. Because of that, today, I have the opportunity to sit with all of you important people, and we are able to shape together present and future of all young people. Croatia is an example of good practice in developing the participation of the young through the advisory board, youth council, NGOs, schools, and student boards. I want to share with you one important message. In every country of the world, there are young, full of enthusiasm, knowledge, and motivation to create a better future. Support them, listen to their ideas, and let us all have a better future for young.
Vala. Okay, Burundi, sincere condolences for your flight delays and most heartfelt welcome to the conference. The floor and the final word is yours.
Merci beaucoup de m'accorder la parole. Tout d'abord, je commence par remercier le gouvernement portugais pour nous avoir conviés à cet événement combien important et pour finalement m'accorder la parole afin que je puisse contribuer à cette conférence. Premièrement, nous avons compris que l'avenir du Burundi, l'avenir du monde appartient aux jeunes qui, au Burundi, représentent 66% de toute la population, dont nous avons déjà la politique nationale de la jeunesse, qui va avec des stratégies de développement des jeunes qui s'alignent avec les objectifs du développement durable. Dernièrement aussi, il y a la Banque des jeunes, justement pour soutenir les initiatives des jeunes, parce que les jeunes sont innovateurs. Et cette Banque des jeunes, c'est justement pour encourager les jeunes à réaliser leurs projets, des projets réalisables et des projets qui peuvent contribuer au développement de tout le pays, finalement parce qu'on a compris qu'ils représentent plus de 66%. Nous les encourageons alors à travailler en association, à travailler dans des coopératives, pour plus, on les responsabilise parce que l'avenir leur appartient. C'est pourquoi d'ailleurs on a déjà lancé une campagne de mobilisation de ces jeunes pour qu'ils puissent prendre à main leur avenir. Ils sont jeunes et aujourd'hui, les places que nous occupons aujourd'hui, ce sont leurs places de demain. Merci beaucoup.
Okay, moment of truth. We have now finished this round of intervention, and we will close off this day by a set of 3 or 4 interventions on what you will bring with you and what you will do differently after today. So this will function by you raising your plate like this, and it would only be me sort of trying to guide myself. So apologies for not seeing your country names, but I will try to do my very best. Okay, I have Sierra Leone and, no, I cannot see. The country next to Sierra Leone starting off. Serbia, perfect, thank you. We will start there, and then we will collect 2 more interventions. The time limit is still 2 minutes. The floor is yours. Please, Sierra Leone.
Yeah, as a Minister of Youth responsible, Minister of Youth from Sierra Leone and a youth my very self, and as I'm about to review the current youth policy that has expired 1 month ago, I will not review a policy that a set of individuals will sit in a room and put words together. I will review a policy that each and every Sierra Leonean, 65 to 70% Sierra Leonean that are below 35 will participate, will make an input in the current youth policy review. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Serbia. The floor is yours.
Thank you. I want to say that I'm very happy because the Serbia is here. Today we have so many friends and great friendships. And yes, we can change the world, the situation, but just together. Thank for this organization, for everything. Everything was fantastic. And let's create the better world together.
Thank you. Let's take some interventions from the right side. I see Argentina. But I see Argentina and someone else from this side? Yes, Algeria. Argentina. Georgia, I see you. You will also get the floor after. Thank you. Jordan. Yeah, after. So Argentina, Algeria, Jordan.
Thank you very much, and I will be speaking in name of civil society. Mi compromiso va a dejar de ser pedir por un meaningful youth engagement, por un compromiso de la juventud o un involucramiento. Mi compromiso va a ser pedir por asientos para los delegados, va a ser pedir para que los jóvenes diseñen las próximas declaraciones, para que sea en conjunto con asesores de gobierno y que nuestras voces sean escuchadas en todo el proceso y no consultadas posteriormente. Los cambios tienen que darse desde el comienzo y el inicio, y por sobre todo voy a saludar la iniciativa de Portugal de llamarnos, de darnos el espacio, de invitar a los delegados de sociedad civil, pero por sobre todo mi trabajo en advocacy dentro del G20 va a ser para pedir conferencias de juventud vinculantes. La juventud se merece un espacio vinculante. Así como tenemos conferencias de mujeres, conferencias de niños, necesitamos legislación que obligue a los estados a respetar nuestros derechos. Muchas gracias.
Thank you. Algeria.
Merci. Moi, je crois qu'une fois rentré chez nous, on devrait parler de renforcer l'action intersectorielle, parce que la question de la jeunesse est une question transversale, et je trouve que dans ce domaine-là, ça reste, enfin je parle du moins de mon pays, l'action reste un peu faible. On devrait tous se mettre autour d'une table pour pousser encore plus ce travail intersectoriel. Merci.
Thank you very much. Jordan.
Thank you for seeing me clearly, apparently. What I will go home with is something that's beyond words and something that cannot be said in a sentence or two. I'm a firm believer of youth, their power and their impact, but being together today and presumably yesterday and hopefully tomorrow gave me a sense of motivation that I've never felt in my life. I'm going home with a full support from everyone sitting here, from all the nations on the United Nations, from everyone I talk to. Sadly, people I couldn't talk to, but I can see the positivity in everyone's face. Luckily, we launched our national youth strategy in Jordan, but being with people here gave me more ideas and gave us support for a better tomorrow, for a peaceful world, and in a more innovative way. We will not deal with things in the classic dimension. We will take it in another dimension in accordance to our age, our requirements, and our changes. With that being said, we will not neglect our origins and our elderlies as our mentors, our support system in all possible ways, whether in mentorship or financial aid. We will create a better tomorrow that will facilitate our development and sustain our culture and enable us for a future that everyone dreamt of, hopefully with no war, with no poverty, and good health. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. With these words, we will now start concluding this session. I wish to thank you from the bottom of my heart for all of your active participation throughout this session and throughout this day. It has been a powerful couple of hours, a true testament to how much power there is if and when young people are involved. I also want to take this opportunity, now that I'm here, to thank the organizers of this conference for all of the late hours, the commitments you have shown, and the possibility for us all to be here today. Please join me in a huge round of applause for the organizers. So, as I am the moderator, I won't tell you what I will do differently when I go back home, but I will tell you what I think that you should do differently when you go home. Because I think not only the policy and all of the ideas and discussions that are formed here today are important to realize. And it's true, if we manage to only realize maybe half of what has been declared and promised here today, the world will look very, very different in 2030. But I think it's also a very, very important testament that the relationships between ministries and youth organizations and youth representatives are strengthened. I hope that each and every one of you, especially from the governmental sides, now feel like you have a strengthened bond to youth representatives and youth organizations, and that you realize that you cannot and will not do the work that you do back home without involving the young people. So please also make sure to continue working in the spirit of this conference, side by side with the youth representatives and youth organizations when you go back home. And in that spirit, we will also get to know each other even better tonight, because there will be a reception. And we are now finishing on time, and we will have some more practical information right after I close this session, which is now. Thank you all so very, very much.